Trucker Dave here, and today we get busy wiring up the electrical on this to get it ready for the truck. So if you've been following along, I've been doing this truck bed trailer, getting it ready to put on the back of my 78 F-250. And there's a lot to be done. I've about got the bed all completely done. But what I need to do is get all the electrical wiring all sorted, so when I get it to the truck, I can drop it right on, plug the wiring in, and everything is good to go. And that's what we're going to be going over today. I'm going to be showing you how to get it all hooked up, show you where the trouble spots are, and I'm going to show you how to test all the wiring off the truck. That way, when it's time to go, we're good. So now as we get started on this project, I'm going to show you all the tools and things you're going to need to successfully do this. Starting off, you're going to need a manual. This has a schematic in it, in the back here, and it's got all the wires color coded. It looks a little daunting, but it's not bad. License plate lights, backup lights, directional lights, side marker lights. It's got all the wires are color coded. Blacks for grounds, the browns for the side marker lights, the red and black for the backup lights, the left marker lights. So once you get the hang of this is all pretty self-explanatory, and I'll show it on the back of the truck where we need to be. So you're going to need a schematic. Get some wire connectors here. We're going to need this because we're going to butcher this. My little kit from the stereo, I need that. That's trash. Starting off, I've gone over the wiring. Now, this is the backup light. There's no light bulb in here. We're not going to worry about that just yet, but this is the turn and park signal. All the wiring seems to be good here. Still seems to be plugged in, and it's all routed through here. But part of what's got me concerned are these fittings here where they've just kind of been soldered together. So I'll have to go over them and make sure they're all good, and I may have to redo them. The nice thing is there's a plug here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that, because I have the original wiring harness right here, and I'm going to cut it right here and attach this style plug, because that's what's on the other truck. That's going to allow me to plug and unplug. That way, once I get the bed put on the truck, there's no wiring or soldering. All I have to do is plug it in. But when I go over to this light here, I don't have a reverse light, which isn't hard to figure out. I can plug one in, but one of the turn signal wires is broken, and it's broken here, and there seems to be a shortage of wire, so I'm going to have to fix that. And we'll check all the grounds here. So that's what we're going to get to now. So the first thing I'm going to do before I start any wiring is fix the broken wiring and get everything in shipping order. That way, when I get started testing, I don't run into any real problems. The first thing you have to do when doing one of these things is you have to make sure these ends are clean. I don't have a lot of wire to work with here, so I've got to make these meet. Now, if you ever are short on wire, I actually have several harnesses out of old junk cars. That way, if I need a particular color of wire or strand or thread or even a fitting, a socket, I have it. I keep stuff like that around because I'm a pack rat. You've seen pictures of my garage. But it has actually helped, if I need a 2 or 3 inch piece of wire to lengthen this, but I want it the same color, that actually has helped quite a bit. Okay, so now that I've gone ahead and fixed this damage right here, I'm going to get ahead. I'm going to start wiring up the plug down here to the replacement plug right here, and we're going to get to testing. Now here's the first thing you have to do if you're going to do it like I'm doing. You're going to have to hook a ground strap up to the common ground to the battery here, because these are all grounded through the body. If I just try to hook power up to it, it's not going to happen because it's not completed a circuit. So I have it grounded here through the battery, and it will ground through the rest of the electrical system when I hook the power wire up to any one of these and hopefully we'll have some lights. Well, I've had kind of a little bit of a setback. Seems this wiring harness is junk. I can't get it to work. It's been abused. It's sat a long time. I don't know if the light bulbs are burned out, if the wires are just completely shot. But what I have decided to do, it's just completely rewire it. And I can do it for about $20, and it's a whole lot easier than you think. And I'll buy the kit here probably tomorrow because it's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm really tired and it's hotter than crap. That's probably the reason why I'm out here this late, hoping it was cool. I need to get a fan in the garage, but I'll have to do it that way. As you can see, this side looks pretty good, but when I got under it and started looking, and then I got over onto this over here, this side here, and then I started checking around just up under here, it's just suffered a lot of abuse. And I'm really kind of thinking that after all just testing, I'm just gonna rewire it. That would be the easiest thing to do, and I can buy a trailer wiring kit that'll do everything I need it to do for about $25 at Walmart or AutoZone. They're actually really cheap, and it's still a 4-wire setup. I will have to run a backup wire, but that's really easy, and it's on its own separate circuit. And I'll show you that in the schematics too. So I guess that's it for tonight, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow. So it's the next day now, and it got real hot last night, and I really wasn't getting much progress done. So I got a couple things to help me make this hookup a lot easier and simplify it. I got a converter kit. I've already opened it. Basically, it's one of these plugs like I already have, but this right here actually plugs into the stock wiring loom. So I'll be able to rig it up with this a whole lot easier because there's one of these plugs running the whole tail lights on the other truck. So basically, that'll go in. Came with a handy dandy test light that I'm sure is not worth as much as the zip tie. And I got some new light bulbs and a socket now, so I can test out with some of this stuff. So I'm going to get ready. I'm going to wire this stuff up, and we'll see what we can make happen. Okay, so I've now positioned this truck so I can run off this electrical because it's got a better setup than the other truck. And I'm going to plug it into this wiring harness here and get these lights to work. So wish me luck. So as with a lot of these older cars, the wiring is a little hinky. I may have to replace a socket, but it's a good thing I bought an extra one. I've gotten that light to work. I haven't got the park lights to work, but I think that has something to do with the truck versus the trailer, because the park lights didn't work on my old trailer either. But I haven't got that one to work yet. I've got power up, so I'm gonna take the socket out, clean it all up, probably replace it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we got all the wires running. I've still got a snaggled mess through here. This wasn't a ground or anything, it just had a bad power wire, so I went ahead and reran a new wire. I've got to shorten it up, but I've got a new ground, a common ground that goes straight to the body now. The brake lights work, the turn signal works on both sides, but I haven't got the park lights to work, but that has to do with the truck because for some reason I've never had park lights that work using this plug. So we're gonna start buttoning it up, put the tail lights back in, and I'm gonna shorten these wires up and it'll all be good to go here shortly. Okay, we're about done here. Got a little bit of cleanup, but both lights are working. I got everything wired up underneath. I ran a new ground strap to power these. I got everything hooked up except this. This is the reverse wire. I've got to put new sockets. I got to put new sockets in on that side, and that side probably needs to be rewound. But I've got it all done up. I've got a bare wire tape. I'm gonna have to get in there and fix that eventually. I had to run one new wire, which is right here, but we'll zip tie all that back together and get it all done up right. Well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed what I did here. There wasn't a whole lot of great content. it just takes a little bit of time. I used almost all of the old existing hardware. It was still working. I put the tail lights back in, made sure all the sockets fit, got everything regrounded, and just set it up the way it needs to be set up for the changeover. So it really wasn't all that hard, but you know, it can be a little daunting if you don't know what to do. So all I can say is get a good manual, take your time, and just have fun with it. You might blow a fuse or two, but I tell you what, you know, you blow one or two fuses, you get the hang of it. It's not as daunting or as hard as it seems. So now that the electrical portion's done, in the next couple of videos, well, probably just one more video, I'm going to show you the process. It might be a little longer than usual. On the truck, I've got to take the fuel tank out, drill a couple of bolt holes because whoever had the truck before me broke a couple of bolts, grind a couple of welds, but once the tank goes on and off, or the bed goes on and off, it's going to be real quick. So I appreciate it, and have fun, guys. Thanks for watching.